All right, welcome back on this Wednesday afternoon. Now, I've seen a lot of you asking questions about why are we getting freezing rain and sleet when temperatures are in the mid-20s outside? Shouldn't it be snowing? Well, the answer is maybe. It doesn't really, the difference between snow and sleet and freezing rain really depends on what the temperature is doing above our heads. So if it was a lot colder above our heads, yeah, we'd be dealing with snow. And I'd much rather be dealing with snow. But unfortunately, we are dealing with that sleet and freezing rain mixture. So let's talk about how that forms and why that happens. So when you have snow, the entire column of air above our heads is below freezing. What's happening in our situation today is you head up about a little over 3,000 feet above our heads, and that temperature quickly warms above freezing. In fact, a little bit farther above our heads, 3,500 to 4,000 feet, it's in the 50s that far above our heads. So what happens is anything that falls melts and then it refreezes, and that's why we get sleet at the surface. Or if it's really cold, kind of like we have out there right now, you got rain, and then that rain freezes once it hits the surface. And obviously if it's well above freezing, then it's just rain outside, which isn't going to happen. So we have that combination of sleet and freezing rain. I do expect that to continue as we head into tonight and into tomorrow as well. Even though our temperatures are going to fall a little bit overnight tonight, it's just not going to be cold enough above our heads for us to transition to all snow or something like that. It's going to be that sleet and freezing rain mixture tonight. Radar pretty quiet compared to what it was earlier, although I did expect to see some patchy freezing drizzle a little bit here or there, maybe some light freezing rain kind of between Terrell to Greenville to Sulphur Springs at the moment. We still have that winter storm warning for all of DFW and up to the Red River. That's where I expect us to have the highest accumulations of sleet and freezing rain tonight and into tomorrow. Outside of that is a winter weather advisory. Basically everywhere going to see accumulating ice. Just the highest totals look like they'll be from DFW to the north and possibly up to the northeast there, but the hazardous driving potentially everywhere late tonight and into tomorrow. In the meantime, what's going to go on the rest of the evening and into tonight? Kind of what we have going on out there right now. Some patchy freezing drizzle. We may see a little bit of an uptick in some light freezing rain or freezing drizzle as we head into the early to evening to early nighttime hours, but basically kind of expect what's going on out there right now to continue. But late tonight, we'll see an increasing round of freezing rain and sleet. So those icy roads, hazardous travel, definitely going to continue up near the Red River where there's a little higher accumulation of sleet and freezing rain this morning into the midday hours. For DFW and the rest of you, icy bridges and overpasses continue with some icy roads, and it's just been all rain across East Texas. But as we head into the late night hours, look how that coverage really increases across the area. This is where we'll see higher amounts of sleet and freezing rain. There's 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. There's 9 a.m. by noon, maybe tapering off a little bit or shifting off to the east. I do expect the activity to move off to the east as we head into the afternoon and evening. Maybe even a little sunshine trying to break out across our western areas late tomorrow afternoon into the evening, but I think it'll be too little too late to really help us out. And then temperatures will certainly fall overnight tonight or overnight tomorrow back well below freezing. So anything that does melt will quickly refreeze. So tonight and into tomorrow, icy roads with hazardous travel looking likely for most of you. Icy overpasses and bridges with some icy roads for our eastern and southeastern areas, and obviously it'll just be wet over there from Shreveport into East Texas. As far as those ice amounts go, so this would be a combination of freezing rain and sleet, a quarter to maybe half an inch from Sherman to Bonham to Paris. For most of you, it's a tenth to quarter of an inch. If you get more in the way of sleet, that's better for the roads than the freezing rain. If you get more in the way of freezing rain, that's not as good for the roads, and it's also worse for the power outages and the trees and things like that. Think of like the ice that we had with that last event where we saw the power outages and the breaks of the branches and trees and things like that. That's what will happen if you get more in the way of freezing rain and less in the way of sleet. But I think kind of the combination of the two, it's a tenth to maybe a quarter inch across most of the area, and then some lower totals off to the west and to the southeast as well. Right now outside, it's 25 degrees. It does feel like 12 at the moment. It is bitterly cold outside. We got teens for temperatures from Bowie at the moment, 22 in Denton, 24 in Dallas, 26 in Terrell. Everybody is below freezing. Everybody feels much colder than that with single-digit wind chills and teens out there. Your temperatures will only fall through the evening and into the overnight, down into the low 20s to start tomorrow with easily wind chills in the single digits and teens tomorrow. So there's your lows tonight and into tomorrow morning. Tomorrow afternoon, it's going to be close, but I think we will warm up maybe a degree or two above freezing depending on where you are. That'll at least help out with a little bit of melting, but anything will refreeze during the late night hours tomorrow and into Friday morning. But by Friday afternoon, the melt will really be on. Partly sunny skies, upper 30s to low 40s for those highs. Chilly, absolutely, but better than what we're dealing with outside right now and definitely above freezing. So freezing rain and sleet will increase in coverage tonight. Icy roads certainly tomorrow morning. Near freezing tomorrow afternoon. It may be close for a lot of you. That freezing rain and sleet, remember, will taper off during the afternoon and then into the evening hours. I do have a round of rain for about half of you on Saturday. Looks light and does look like it will be rain. That would be obviously the liquid variety, not concerned with wintry weather. Into the upper 50s Sunday, 60s Monday. We start March in the upper 60s, and I got 70s by the end of that 10-day forecast there. Late next week and the first week of March, we'll be back in the 70s, and I can't wait for that. We'll also be back after this break.